everyone. This is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
We're A-Game, a 100% Black-owned company with an all-natural product and world-class customer service. We're headquartered in California, and we manufacture, package, and ship right here in the United States. We ship to more than 125 distributors worldwide. Normal processing is 2 to 3 days, and we employ virtual tracking until our product is received. So, no matter where you are in the world, here we come, and we're bringing your A-game.
Hey, my Crimsonites, how we doing? It is time for part 2. We had a ball yesterday. We gonna continue to have a ball today. We got 19 wonderful Crimsonites, but we only got 9 likes. So can we get the likes up, please? Likes up, please. We gonna continue. Cats out the bags. We gonna continue to say what these cats is. You like the beat, Bishop? You know, all that I do is I go into the YouTube audio library, and you know, people might think that it's real lame over there, but if you have a good ear for music, you can find some gems. You can find just so I could just get a little music. I know it's royalty free. I know that YouTube not gonna trip because it's their little audio library, and you know, it's just little snippets of music and you can loop it or whatever. So I just deal with that. That's all that my music has ever been. The other beat that everybody likes so much, that's real calm, that's a YouTube beat. It is, Bishop. I think people might sleep on it. But if you have a good ear, you can get some stuff out of it. You can really make some stuff happen. If you have a good ear for music and a good imagination, you actually can make some stuff happen. So what have we got here? We got C, we got Bishop, we got Fit Feminine, we got Leotis. All right. It is Friday. Okay, y'all. I'm telling y'all what. Hey, Miss Felicia. I'm gonna tell y'all what. I don't be hungry in Ramadan. I don't be hungry. You would think I would be hungry. I don't be hungry. You know what I am? Thirsty. I want some water. And I want some ice. That's what I be really fiending for. When it's time to break fast, I don't be fiending for no food. I go right to go get some ice and some water. And I sit there, I be happy, I be twiddling my feet. I be rocking back and forth because, okay, I'm low-key short, so I can sit in some of the chairs in my house and swing my feet. So I will sit there and swing my feet and drink me some ice water. Don't even play with me. Yeah, like you be dry. Like it's a little bit different from when I do intermittent fasting. I do drink water throughout the day. I won't eat, but I'll drink water. I used to drink coffee and stuff, but I kind of, realized it might interrupt my fast. It might interrupt it. So when I'm doing intermittent fasting, I will just drink water. But since it's a Ramadan fast, it's a dry fast, so I can't drink water. And y'all are telling me I am so thirsty right now. Before I do the show, I have to brush my teeth and all this other kind of stuff so that I can actually talk to y'all without being a whole cotton mouth, sitting here and just, blah. Hey, Picasso. Hey, blessing for you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I left off with women think they're 49ers. So the next one was women repackage themselves after relationships. This is true. This is true, ladies. We don't like to kind of look bad. Thank you, blessing for you. We don't like to look bad. Okay, women will repackage themselves after a relationship if the failure of the relationship is their fault. If the relationship failed because it was them, they're going to try to act like the victim. They're going to try to act like the victim. They're going to try to justify whatever went down in the relationship. Hey, Dr. Michelle, they're going to try to justify whatever went down in the relationship. They're going to try to, you know what I'm saying, just be like, I wasn't doing nothing. You know, I was just trying to be a good woman and, you know, and it just didn't work. And it just didn't, you know, and it just didn't work. This, like I said, this is especially so when the end of the relationship was her fault. Hey, Bronze. If she knows she was on being a female F-19 throughout that relationship, she gonna try to enter into another relationship, and if she get asked about it, her past relationship, her past men or whatever, she gonna try to dress it up. Thank you, Picasso. Said here's a little something. Can you chew gum? Serious question. No, we cannot consume anything during the fasting hours of Ramadan. Nothing that is considered edible. Even though we don't swallow gum, we swallow the juices from it and so it's considered eating something. So we can't chew gum either. We can't chew gum, suck on peppermints, nothing. But that's a good question. Ramadan Kareem extended clips. So we gonna try to act like we was the victim in the situation. And if it's not a situation where we can be the victim, we'll just be like, it just didn't work out. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. And, what? That's what we're going to do. So that's true. Try to be a whole different woman. When you've been an F-19, you try to be a different woman. The only problem with that is if you are a female F-19, you're going to be one in the next relationship because it's going to come out. Because if you a female F-19, that's your personal market value. That's who you are. You are F-19. You just a female. Your F-19 tail is just pink. That's all. They gonna sit there and do it. Blessing for you. So dang, why you all asking about what happened in the last relationship that ain't got nothing to do with you? You know what I'm saying? Get hostile about it. Thank you, Marquise. Thank you so much. So, what's the next thing? We can move on. Women want a provider and a protector. That's what we all want. And see, because we want a provider and a protector, this is why that strong and independent is cap. Strong and independent is cap. Boop, boop, boop. It's cap. Cap. Lies. All lies. Okay? Lies. These is lies. I'm strong and independent. I get it. You ain't got to, I don't need you. I don't need you. What you think I need you? I don't need you. See, lies. You do. Because every woman, it don't matter if she a hyena. It don't matter if she's a lioness. It don't matter if she's a female F-19 with a pink tail flap rather than a blue one. It does not matter what kind of woman she is, what walk of life she come from, what culture she come from, how old she is, how young she is, how pretty she is, how ugly she is. It does not matter what kind of woman it is. We want protection and provision. This is female nature. This is female nature. So all of that other stuff, lies. We're not even going to patronize those types of lies. This is why I go so hard in the paint about being strong and independent and how that actually is ruining women, because it goes against who we are as women. Okay? So the only reason that they're talking about, I got it, I'm strong, I'm independent, is because they don't like the submission and followership that you got to actually do in order to get provision and protection. That's the part that make women be like, oh, I got it, I'm strong, I'm independent. Because they don't like the followership. See, like I said before, everybody want a leader till they get one. Everybody wants a man that's gonna lead them until they run into a man that's actually capable of leading them. See, women talk a big game. They talk a big game about these are not leaders and these are not leaders, but you don't know what to do with a leader if he came and smacked you in the face, because that's exactly what he gonna do. Because when a leader do step to you, the first thing he gonna do is smack you with a SOS. He gonna smack you with some leadership. He gonna smack you with the 10 life values. So you gonna get popped, bam, 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 just right off this. It's a 3-piece right off the bat, because you don't understand leadership no way. Okay? He gonna hit you with a 3-piece of biscuit and a little coleslaw. Okay? So you don't know what to do with a leader anyway. So when he come through with his SOS, okay, so that's number one of the 3-piece. Then he gonna hit you with, I got my 10 life values together. Do you got yours together? Bam, bam, bam. That's number 2 of the 3-piece. Okay. Then he gonna hit you with the masculinity. Bam, bam, bam. That's number 3 of the 3-piece. The biscuit and the coleslaw is the accountability. Now he gonna sit back and watch and see, do you do it? So all of that talking about you want a leader, you don't know what to do with one. Because he requires a man that has that. A man that has that requires stuff. He wants stuff from you. He wants the submission and the followership. Because if I'm the leader, somebody got to be the follower. If I'm the chief, somebody got to be the Indian. Okay? So we not gonna come through with the partnership where we got just 2 chiefs. No, I got the big headdress on. Me. You are gonna sit there, crisscross applesauce and listen. That's what you gonna do. Capiche? Okay. And that is the part that the women don't like. He requires you to sit crisscross applesauce and listen while he direct and get stuff together. He be worse than them little air traffic control. He be directing. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. Women know how to manipulate men. Now, a lot of women will try to deny this. I don't be manipulating no man. Cap. Men manipulate their environment through implementing a structure within it. Women don't have a structure. So the way we get things to go the way we want is we manipulate the situation and the people in the situation to try to get outcomes that we want. Manipulation is a part of female nature because when you don't have brute strength, you gotta rely on finesse. Okay? I'm gonna go back to football references. I'm sorry. But I like football and I understand it, so I'm sorry. But there's two types of running backs in football. There's the power running back, and then there's the finesse running back. The power running back is usually very strong and able to break tackles with brute strength and footwork. He can get through a small opening that the offensive line creates. And sometimes on a second effort, he's strong enough to break the tackles and break through the defensive line. A finesse running back usually doesn't have that type of brute strength. So what he does, he relies on his speed and he relies on his vision to get through the defense. He follows the blocks that his offensive line gives him. And if he bounces on the outside, bounce on the outside. Rarely he hit up the gut because the defense is stronger up the middle. So he doesn't go into the teeth of the defense, goes around it to achieve the same goal. Right? Which is to get yardage. That's the difference between masculine structure and feminine manipulation. Both of them are trying to get things to go their way, to get outcomes that they want. It's just that we go about that in a different way. Thank you, Dreamin' J, for the cash out. We go about it in a different way. All right? So men are trying to influence the outcomes around him by implementing order and structure around him. Women attempt to do the same thing, but because we don't have inherent order and structure, we don't rely on that system. We actually rely on manipulating the situations and the people within them in order to get outcomes that we want. Now, this can be done to the benefit, actually, of not only ourselves, but other people. We can benefit other people by that tactic. But we can also, and unfortunately, more often than not in today's woman, she uses it for ill means. She uses it in order to create some type of further chaos or to harm something, or she's doing it for selfish reasons and doesn't care that other people, get messed up in the process. Okay? So manipulation in a woman is not always a bad thing. We don't have to make it bad. Because it's part of our nature, women are in a constant state of manipulation anyway. We're constantly doing it. We constantly do it. Just like men are in a constant state of trying to put some order and structure to things around him so that he can understand them, so he can understand his world by ordering it. Women do the same thing, but through the chaos of manipulation. Now, manipulation has a negative connotation, but we don't have to use it in order to hurt people. Okay? Because when it's used, and thank you, Fifth Feminine. She said, what's beautiful about positive manipulations when it's used with your man, he give you the word. Exactly. So we use it on our men all the time. A lioness is manipulating her husband just like a hyena is manipulating a Jonathan. But we're doing it for two different reasons, and we're actually doing it in two different ways. But it's still manipulation. We still finessing. We still doing it because we can't get outcomes through brute force. We can't do it. We can't make him do stuff. So even a lioness, we can't force our man to do stuff, but we can persuade it. We can persuade it. We can put some things in motion that will help us get what we want out of him. And that's not always bad, because we're not always looking to harm when we do that. It's just the way it is. It's just women. You want him to do stuff nice for you, you got to manipulate him. Feed him his favorite food. Give him a massage. Put on his favorite movie. Put on that thing that he like. You know, put the thing on him. Talk to him real sweet. Start hugging and kissing him, being real affectionate. Start getting him stuff he want. You know, doing stuff you know he like. That is manipulation. He just likes it. That's the difference. That's the real difference. Manipulation he like versus manipulation he don't like. And red pill men know they're being manipulated. But if you doing the manipulation they like, they allow it because they know that's what you gotta do. They know that's what you gotta do. Because he knows you aren't going to be able to force him into anything, especially a masculine red pill man. He can't be forced. You're not going to be able to tell him. No. He knows that you have to manipulate the situation. You got to finesse. But that's what we do. So when I come through with, with barely nothing on, smelling like vanilla roses and, you know what I'm saying? And sweet pea. And my hair all did. Talking about sincerity. Okay? He know I want something. I want something. Oh, actually, I want a couple of things, but okay. He know you want something. He prepared for that. He actually wants you to do that because it's what you got to do. So red pill men know women manipulate men. Unfortunately, the way the hyena manipulates Jonathans and simps is usually to their detriment. Usually to their detriment. That's the part that makes it negative. That's the part that makes it not okay. When we use our power of finesse and manipulation to bring down somebody, to bring harm to somebody. Exactly, blessing for you. You come in the room talking about, hey, Poppy. He be like, hey, Poppy, what you want? The Lord is my shepherd. He know what I want. What you want? Let me know. Let me know. What you? What did you say? Come here. Sit on my lap. Sit on my lap. Cause I was just saying, you so handsome and everything. Yeah. He know what's coming. But you can't stop him from grinning because he know, right? So we manipulate. It don't have to be a bad thing if we don't make it a bad thing, right? Okay. All right. Women try to inflate their value and worth. We do. It's true. And this is especially so for women that know that they have low value. Women that know, or they at least intuit that they have low value or low quality in the eyes of most men, or in the eyes of the men that she wants. She'll try to make it seem like she's more than what she really is. This is where all of that boss chick, bad B type ridiculousness comes from. Okay? This is where that craziness comes from. A chick trying to act like she a bad B, she a boss chick, when really she's not anything, because she thinks the reason why they do that is because she thinks that increases her value in the eyes of men. This is where that level up stuff comes from. Trying to look a certain part, trying to act a certain part, but that's not really who she is. She's capping and fronting and faking. Okay? Just like that YouTube content creator that was always, I'm not going to say her name, talking about level up. But when she took that wig off, she was War of the Planet of the Apes. Her. With all that level up and that scamming that they doing, that crap. Trying to inflate their value. Oh, these old mogul maids, these the ones past 30s, the ones main ones guilty of trying to do it, because they know that, listen, I'm not as valuable as even I once was. I'm certainly not valuable now. And here's the kicker part about it. They weren't all that valuable even younger, because a lot of women in this day and age identify themselves only through their sexual market value in the first place. And while neglecting personal market value, belonging market value, and friendship market value, they neglect those other parts of her womanhood that she actually should be, getting together, because the sexual market value is going to go down. So you got to have something to fall back on as a woman, which is your femininity and your womanhood. That's not really your sexual market value. That is your personal market value, belonging, and your friendship market value. That's what that is. But a lot of women in this day and age don't operate like that. They don't work on those things, right? They don't work on them. So they end up, thank you, Mogul Maze, for the cash out. So what they end up doing is, once the sexual market value declines, they don't know what to do. So they start freaking out. They start panicking. Well, let me try to boost it up. Let me try to, do something that'll really capture these guys' attention to make it seem like I'm really doing something more with my life than I really am. So this is where you get chicks that shop on eBay for designer clothes that are used. Okay, they don't even have the decency to go to Poshmark or what's that, Mercado or Mercaro? What's that other website that sell used stuff? I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare go get no used clothes, buy no used clothes from offline. And listen, I ain't really got no problem with thrifting. Mercari, right? I ain't really got no problem with thrifting, because them use clothes too. But, at least if I'm going to a thrift boutique, I paid like $3 for that shirt. Not close to retail for somebody's used shirt. And I haven't thrifted since I was in college. I really have not thrifted in a very long time. So I don't really have too much against thrifting. You got to pick and choose what you get. Like, I'll get some shirts, maybe some dresses or something like that. I won't get shoes, and God forbid I'm not gonna get no type of underwear, nothing like that. I know people that will go thrift store and get underwear. I kid you not. I was like, oh, no. Now dress, we can do a lightly worn dress, but this was back when I ain't had no money. So I kind of had to go to the thrift store, and that's what got me into thrifting. So I would go to the thrift stores around where the wealthy people were, their Goodwills, because you could find stuff from Nordstrom with the tags on it. They never did even take the tags off. This is like wealthy women who went through their closet and was like, I'm never going to wear this. Take it to the Goodwill. That kind of stuff. You know, ain't nobody will wear it. Or they might have worn it once. So it was like, oh, okay, I can get this. I used to get little stuff like that, but I haven't gone thrifting since college. Yep, I was like 18 the last time that I went thrifting. So I ain't really got nothing against it, but I'm not thirsty for designer stuff that I need to wear somebody's old gym shoes. We're not doing that. It's just certain stuff you don't do. But anyway, that's why they getting that level up stuff. Going to get used stuff, try to act like she bought it new, knowing she got it from the Goodwill. Okay? She just happened to run up on a designer's name at the Goodwill. Listen, if you got to go to the Goodwill to shop, do so. But stop capping like you went into the actual retail store to get this stuff, because you didn't. And that doesn't really boost your value in the eyes of men anyway. Okay? Because these are women that don't understand the actual value of being a woman. They don't actually understand what makes you valuable as a woman in the first place. They're stuck on the external of the 10 life values. They're stuck on, I gotta have money. I gotta look like I got money. I gotta look like, you know what I'm saying, I can travel. I gotta look like I can drive these fancy cars and stuff like that. But those are the things that attract women to men. Those are not the things that attract men to women. He doesn't care if you are driving a leased Beamer and it's 4 years old and you still leasing it. Stop, knock it off. He don't care. He know it's 4 years old because he got one and he bought it 4 years ago, new off the lot. And it wasn't even the model with all the luxury packages in it either. He know you leasing it. Don't even try to cook. Don't even try that. If you can only afford, you know what I'm saying, a little Ford Taurus, go get a Ford Taurus. I mean, he don't care. Cause you know what? You know what men judge with your car? Ladies, I'm gonna tell y'all how men judge your car. Y'all wanna know how men judge your car and your clothes and your stuff like and that kind of stuff? You know, you wanna know how he's really judging that stuff? Put a 1 in the chat if you want to know how men are really judging your car and your clothes and your shoes and all of that kind of stuff. Thank you, see. He's judging if it's clean. Okay? Listen. If my man get into my car, he's not going to be impressed with the fact that it's a 2016 Jetta. That's not impressive. It's just a regular car. Nothing special about that car. I even got the base model. It's not even with no package in it. But when he get in it, it's clean. I sat a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and detailed it. I detailed it. It was getting too dirty. How you doing, pimp guy? It was getting too dirty. I went to go and get some things. I went outside and I sat. It took me about an hour or two to get into the car, vacuum it real good, clean the dash, brush the doors, get in the crevices, get all in where the, you know what I'm saying, get grimy in the cup holder and all of that. Like clean the steering, all of that. Clean the mud guards, okay? Then once I was done with that, I armor all did everything. Okay? Put my little air freshener in there. It's clean. If he come into my home, it's clean. I ain't got clothes everywhere. Stuff strolled all that like a whirlwind. When I step out of the house with my clothes on, I'm clean. I smell nice. I look like soap and water hit me within the last 12 to 24 hours. Okay? When I take my hijab off, I don't look like who done it and what for. My hair is done. It's nice and neat. That's what he's judging. How did this woman present herself to the world? Does she even care about her own appearance value? Right, pimp guy, I had some carpet cleaner. You know, I scrubbed the car carpet. That didn't come as clean as I wanted it to, but it came really clean. I'll probably go get it professionally shampooed at some point. But I keep the car washed. On the outside, it get too dusty and all of that, I take it through the wash. It smell good when you get in it. It ain't chips and bags and shoes and this and that. I don't have all that mess going on in my car because I'm not messy. I'm not dirty in the first place. Thank you, show me. I would not be ashamed for a man to come and see my bathroom. Some of y'all ladies ought to be shamed. And you would let somebody in your house looking like it do. You come to my bathroom right now. It is clean. The floor is mopped. The toilet is clean. The sink is clean. I ain't got hair all over it. It ain't stroked. None of that. Makeup spots, your mirror nasty, you done spit on it. That's nasty. It's nasty. Anyway, let me move on. Yeah, he can take you somewhere. A blessing for you. He take you somewhere and don't be shamed. Like, oh my Lord. Just look at her, y'all. As a matter of fact, don't look at us. It's horrible. You just shame your man and you shame yourself because you just look horrible. Anyway, women hate to be alone and love attention. That's self-explanatory. We don't like being alone and we do love attention. See, this is why a lot of women came in this space. And one of the things that they used to say to the men a lot was, you gonna be alone. Y'all don't want no women because when you get older, you gonna want somebody to be there because you gonna die alone. See, that's a horrible fate for a woman. Told y'all we were social creatures. We don't like being outcast from the group. We like being included, not outcasted. Growing old and being alone for the rest of our days is a nightmare to us. Okay? Now, you may have some men that would like some companionship and things of that nature, but it's not quite the nightmare to them that it is to us. It's a whole nightmare to us for us to just sit and think, man, when I get about 60 something, ain't nobody gonna be here. Ooh. Like, we wake up in a cold sweat, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about being by ourselves. and being alone. We don't like that. Because we're highly social. And here's the real deal. Here's really why we like so much attention from men and we don't want to be without them. The real nitty gritty truth of it is that men are our purpose. And when we don't have our purpose, we are aimless, leaderless, and we are lost at sea. And that is when we become miserable. That is when we become bitter and angry and sad. Because men are our purpose. And when we are purposeless, when we are without them, that's what's the nightmare. See, a lot of ladies will never admit that. Feminism don't let you admit that. But I'm going to tell it today. Too many of us have allowed feminism to take us from our purpose and give us a masculine purpose. That's why we're not happy. And that's why we seek all of these other means to get validation and attention from men, because they are our purpose. We look for their validation because we need it. We need it for our mental and emotional survival. We need the masculine light and energy of men in our lives for our mental and emotional well-being. Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullah Zahira. Ramadan Kareem. When we don't have that, our mental and emotional well-being degrades. Just like a man's mental and emotional well-being will degrade when he can't find his purpose in life. When he doesn't have it, doesn't know it, can't find it, can't perform it, he becomes lost. Women play with sex and intimacy. And women really enjoy sex. That's two. Women play with sex and intimacy. A lot of women use it as a weapon or as part of a punishment reward system. The sex. A lot of women will do that. I'm here to tell y'all that in a relationship, that is the wrong thing to actually do. Never use the sex or the withholding of sex as some sort of weapon whereby you are attempting to manipulate the man into doing something you want or not doing something that you don't want, or whatever the case may be. Not only is this the wrong day and age to do that when sex is so readily available elsewhere, but even if the society was not like that and sex wasn't so readily available outside of a marriage or relationship, this is one of the main ways women actually ruin relationships with men. Because he begins to not trust you. Because this is the type of manipulation he does not like. Okay? Trying to use your sex. Well, I ain't gonna give you none because you didn't do XYZ. That's gonna be a negatory. You're gonna have to knock that off. You in a relationship with a man, that should not be one of the things that is used as a weapon. Because you wouldn't like it if he told you, well, it's been three nights in a row you ain't washed them dishes. If you think you finna get some magic stick tonight, you got another thing coming. So since it was 3 nights in a row you ain't washing dishes, gonna be 6 nights in a row you don't get no stick. Go to bed. Boop, boop, boop. Send you to bed without no supper. You wouldn't like that. Thank you, Zahira said, we women lose when we try to act like men. Exactly. Anytime we try to go into a masculine space, we lose. We lose. They don't lose, we do. In them whole 20 years when we were, you know, I never used sex as no weapon. I never was like, oh, you can't get none. Matter of fact, in Islam, you can't do that. So if we got some Muslim sisters listening, in Islam, you can't do that. In Islam, you cannot tell your husband no. The only time that you can say no to his sexual advances is if you are on your monthly or you are fasting Ramadan, the obligatory fast. Because even if you are doing a voluntary fast and he approaches you, you got to break your fast and do it another day. That's how serious that is. So for all you Muslim sisters that, you know, think you gonna let your feminism get you out your Islam, you have to knock that off. We're not allowed to say no unless it is for those very specific reasons. And the only reason we can say no for those reasons is because Allah said, and Allah's word trumps what your husband wants. Because we have to give what we owe to Allah before we give what we owe to our husband. So we owe Allah the fast of Ramadan. We owe Allah that. And when you're on your monthlies, that's just nasty. Okay? Periods stop more than sentences in my world. I'll tell you that much. And in a Muslim sister's world, it do too. So I'm not going to stay here, but I know it's a lot of Muslims that's listening to me, especially my little Facebook Muslim sisters. Don't let these little feminist ideas get you caught up. Your husband has rights over you. And you got to fulfill them. Period. Women really enjoy sex. Yes, we do. A little while ago, I did a video that said the women are being too sexual. And one of the things that I said was that there are a lot of men where women's sexuality wigs them out. That really was for blue pill men. Red pill men aren't like bothered by female sexuality because they actually understand female sexuality. We have so many erogenous zones on our bodies, it's ridiculous. We are designed for sexual pleasure. the female body, and our psychology. We are physically and physiologically created for sexual pleasure, among other things. Remember that he is our purpose. Because we're the vessels that are being penetrated, it makes sense to make our bodies actually enjoy that process. Because we the ones getting jugged on. So we got to enjoy that process. We're the ones that are going to be dominated in that situation. So we have to enjoy it up here too. Red pill men understand very clearly that we are sexual creatures. We like sex as much as or more than they do. To a woman, it's almost nothing better in the world than being penetrated by the man you love. As a woman, there's almost nothing better in the world than being penetrated by a man you love. It's nearly euphoric. And the ladies done got quiet, but you know I'm not lying. Body is designed for sexual pleasure. We got too many soft spots. It gives him pleasure to see you pleased like that. Because you know what go through a dude's mind? I'm doing this to her. She's reacting this way because I'm doing this to her. Because of me. Because of what I'm doing right now. That's why she's reacting the way she's reacting like that. Eyes all rolled in the back of her head. Feet all up in the air, toes throwing up gang sign. I'm doing that. He liked that. Which goes into another thing. Women fake love, orgasms, care, being a quality woman. Let's talk about faking the O. Faking your O. We gotta fake the O. I know the guys don't like that. The guys don't like that. Thank you, AJ, for the cash out. Guys, I know y'all don't like hearing that we're gonna fake a O, but we gonna fake a O. All of us gonna do it at some point. We may not do it all the time, but we gonna fake that O. Some of them times we gonna fake it. Most of the time, we're faking it for your ego. Most of the time, that's not the only reason women fake a O, but usually we're faking O's for you. We don't want you to think that we didn't like it. Because sometimes we just not about to have no orgasm. It don't matter what you do. Some of them times we just ain't about to do it. It's not gonna happen. It happened for you way more often than it happened for us. Now that don't mean we didn't like the session. That don't mean we don't love you. That don't mean we didn't thoroughly enjoy everything that just happened. But we gonna fake that some of them times. Did you like it? We don't be lying. Yeah, you know, yes. We faked it. Fake. Boop, 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 boop. Fake. We faked it. And if we real good at it, you don't know when we faked it or when we didn't. And we not gonna tell you we faked it. Unless we get mad. Then a stupid chick will tell you that she faked it. But if you with your husband, you gonna fake some of them O's. If you think in 20 years I didn't fake no O, come on. Stop it. Because some of them times I ain't feel like it. I didn't even want it. Of course I'm not gonna have a O. You want it. I don't want nothing. And so it's not to disappoint and make the session bad for you just because I don't want to be bothered. I'm gonna fake the O. Oh my God. Whew. Whew. There you go. And you smiling, you like, yeah, I really did the job. Not so much. But we ain't gonna tell you that. Because I love you. I don't want you to feel bad. Trust and believe you want us faking them O's sometimes. Yeah. Ernest said we fake listening. Yeah, y'all fake listen. Y'all be fake interested. Y'all be interested in what we be talking about. We know that. We know you ain't listening. If she not a goofball, she know you ain't listening. We'll get to talking and something, your eyes glaze over. We know you ain't listening. We just gonna keep on talking and act like we just gonna pretend you listen. We know that. Okay. Now, the faking of the O, that's gonna happen. I don't care what kind of woman you got. You can have the highest level of lioness. She gonna fake a O one of them times, and it just is what it is. You don't want to know about it. Just don't ask no questions. Just, you don't want to know when she do it. Just leave it. Just leave that alone. Don't even ask about that. Leave that alone. I'm just saying y'all gotta leave that one alone. What is detrimental is faking love, faking care, trying to fake like you're a good woman and a high value woman and all that. That gets real detrimental real quick. Because unfortunately, because women are able to manipulate the way that we are, we can fake love. We can fake care about you. Women can fake care, and that I don't support at all. If you don't care about that man, leave that man alone. If you don't love that man, don't tell that man you love him. Don't tell that man you love him as a way to manipulate things and a way to manipulate him into a position with you where you can get stuff out of him because he think you love him. He think you care about him. He think you interested in him. When really you're just out for your own self and your own selfish needs and your own selfish, objectives. And as soon as you achieve those objectives, you're going to push him to the side like you never knew him. And he gonna be trying to figure out what's going on. Thought we was in a real relationship. I thought you really cared about me, and you didn't. I never have advocated that. If it's a little situationship, let it be a little situationship then. But don't be going into it trying to act like you love him, because that's the one thing women be complaining about. You know what I'm saying? I thought we was really in a relationship, when really it be a lot of chicks that be faking it. You will fake a whole relationship for clout. Just like I did that video about Latoya Ali. Did a whole relationship for clout. I'm pretty sure she told that man at some point she loved him. She ain't love that man. She never did. She still don't. But a lot of women today will do that. And she's doing it for her own selfish benefits and her own little agenda that she's on. And she doesn't care if the man get hurt behind that. She has no care for that. She do not care about that. So I've never advocated being in fake clout relationships for your own agenda, all of that sort of thing. It does piss me off too, Fit Feminine, because it ruins men who's come into relationships genuinely. It ruins those men. Thank you, Tarbo. Thank you, Torenzo. It ruins those men and it jades them. So now he don't believe no chick. This is the same thing that sometimes guys will do that create a strag. This is how strags create these dudes that be callous and don't care, because she go into a situation faking like she gonna be a good woman, faking like she love him, faking like she care about him, faking like she wanna really be in a relationship. And then she do him dirty. She do him grimy, like she get grimy with it. And then once she get grimy with it, he be like, nope, I'm never falling for that again. I'm never doing that again. And then he gets savage. And then when he gets savage, now chicks is running around trying to figure out why all these dudes is on savage mode right now. Because you can thank one of your sisterins for that. She did do grimy. Now he don't care. And sometimes for some men, I'm going to say this, and the men can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to say this. Sometimes even when a dude is get on savage mode, if that's not really who he is inside, he don't really like that savage mode. He just be getting on it because he got to protect himself. He feel like he got to protect himself, and he can't be being all exposed and all vulnerable to a chick that's gonna come through and manipulate. He don't want to be hurt no more. Like nobody wants to be hurt. It's the same thing when chicks get the wall up and they get on savage mode, quote unquote, because she ain't trying to be hurt or whatever. And we really do it to each other. So you got strags out here creating savage dudes. And then you got them same savage dudes will create a strag. So hurt people hurt people. So I ain't never advocated getting into fake relationships, faking like you love. Because when I say I love somebody, I mean that. I don't play with that word, because that word to me requires actions. It's not just merely an emotion. And I went over love yesterday, but it's not merely an emotion that you just feel out of the blue. That's not really love. Love begins to require some action behind it that proves it. You gotta prove that you love people once you start telling people that you love them. So ladies, y'all running around here doing that and then wondering where all the quote unquote good men are. You did them grimy when you was in your 20s. You ran up on a couple of good men and you did them grimy. So now he ain't good no more. He ain't trying to get got no more. He ain't trying to get caught up. No. Let me read these super chats before I keep going. Terenzo said faking got everyone right where we are at now, and most people are still psychologically fake and will nevertheless know why, and will never know why. So thank you, Terenzo, and thank you, Tarbo. Then I'm gonna go back to something you said. So any grown man know his woman isn't always going to get an orgasm. I think it's wholly unnecessary and could possibly breed unsatisfactory lovemaking because a man thinks he's doing right by you. Well, here's the thing with the faking of the O. We only do it sometimes. Listen, it doesn't matter how good of a love maker the man is. Sometimes we're just not gonna have an orgasm. And that's just the way it is. He can be a whole porn star in bed, and some of them times we're not gonna do it. So instead of wrecking his ego by telling him that wasn't good, I didn't like that, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, we'll stroke your ego and be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, it was satisfactory, especially when you're usually satisfactory. It doesn't work when the sex is just subpar all around. When the sex is just subpar all around, like every time it's bad, that's a conversation. I'm not faking no O's. I'm letting you know I'm not getting satisfied. So we're going to have to do something because I'm consistently not satisfied with what's happening in the bedroom. I'm not going to fake that. But if he consistently satisfies me and there are just a few times that I didn't get an orgasm, I'm not finna trip. I'm not about to try to make him feel some type of way about that. Oh, you didn't satisfy me this time. You know what I'm saying? I got about a 95% rate. That's good. What you talking about? I hit a home run 95% of the time. You better stop. You better knock that off. So I just don't feel like it's no reason to hit a man's ego like that. And be like, you ain't do it right. Like, I ain't do it wrong. So what? So what it is? You ain't have an orgasm. That was your business. Because I had two. I had two. That was awesome. I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? So it's not, it's not malicious. That's not malicious. We ain't trying to hurt you. So let's move on. Women don't trust other women. That's almost self-explanatory as well. We don't. Because we know women are manipulative because we're women and we're manipulative. Duh. And we can see it coming. This goes back to something I talked about a while ago, maybe a year and a half ago or something like that, about the female ward. Because we can spot female manipulation and the subtlety of it better than men can. Because that's our wheelhouse. We operate in that space. So we can see it coming even when men can't see it coming. We know when a chick is up to no good. Which is why if men have a good feminine ward, like maybe a good female friend that he don't smash, or like a sister, or maybe even rarely his mom is a good female ward, she will wire him up like, nah, she on BS. The same way men know other men are on BS and they can see that coming even when a woman can't see it, same thing with us. So that we don't really trust a lot. Women don't really trust other women, especially not off the bat. I know not to give you no trust right off the bat. No. Boop, boop, boop. No, no. You have to prove yourself. You have to prove you're not on BS. That's what you got to do. You got to prove it. And I'll know it. I'll know. I'm a woman just like you, sis. I'll know if you're on that mess. And I'm going to call you out on it. Let's see. Women enjoy taking advantage of men and getting over on them. This is a gynocratic teaching. This is a gynocratic thing that women have picked up, enjoying getting over on men just in any kind of way that they can. Because feminism and a gynocracy instilled it in a woman's mind that men are the enemy. So at any time that she can get over on him or do him dirty or, you know, just pull one over or get him for something or whatever the case may be, she actually feels good about doing that because he's the enemy. Right? In this society that we live in, it's gynocratic. And so men are the enemy. And you always will feel good to get something over on your enemy. And that's really where a lot of the foolishness come from. Because getting trained to see men as this is my enemy, this is my opponent, I'm competing against him, so I gotta one up him. I always gotta be a couple of steps ahead. I always gotta be in a position to take advantage of him somehow or bring him down somehow, or, you know, I always gotta be in position to, you know what I'm saying, just make sure he stay behind. Whether I'm getting him for money, getting him for, you know, protection, or I'm using him for something or whatever. So that's where that mindset actually comes from. Women like free stuff. This is also gynocratic that makes women very, very entitled to everything. So we feel like we should just get something for nothing all the time. A lot of women feel like they should just get something for nothing. That they can have it all. That they need to have their cake and eat it too. That, you know what I'm saying? Thank you, Brother Muhammad, for the cash out. That they should have their cake and eat it too. You can have it all. I was listening to the radio today, and you know how sometimes on radio they'll call in with, you know, relationship issues and questions, blah, 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 blah. So this one lady called in and she was like, she had moved in with her fiance. While they was moved in, she's the one that broke off the engagement for no good reason. He hadn't done nothing. She broke off the engagement, and then they decided to, for whatever reason, live together until the lease was up and still share the bills, and then they just go their separate ways. Well, there was 6 months on the lease still, and he wanted his engagement ring back, and he wanted to move out because he didn't want to live with her anymore, and he had actually was getting into a new relationship with another woman. And she actually thought that it was okay for her to keep the engagement ring, pawn it, use the money to pay the bills, and then he still have to stay there and help her with the bills. Like, no. First of all, the day you break the engagement is the day you get that ring back. The engagement ring is conditional. Okay, it's not a wedding ring. It's an engagement ring. It is, we have intentions to get married. If for whatever reason those intentions fall through, I'm going to need that ring back up out you. I don't even know why she had it in her possession in the first place. After that conversation where the engagement was broke, You're supposed to get that ring back immediately. He gave it to you immediately when he proposed, so you give it back immediately when the engagement is broken. So I brought that up as an example of women just wanting stuff just because, just feeling like they're entitled, feeling like they can just get stuff for nothing, make decisions and don't see any of the consequences behind it, like children. So I get to just make decisions, but I don't get to feel any of the blowback from those decisions. Welcome to adulthood. You broke the contract of the engagement. So he don't have to stay there with you. Why would you want to even stay with a man that you no longer are, quote unquote, in a relationship with anyway? That's because you a basic broad. This broad basic, okay? And then trying to get something for nothing. They think they should get all kinds of handouts. They think men should just spend all kinds of money on them just because they sitting there, just because they smiling, just because they sitting there doing one of these numbers. What? You know what I'm saying? All that kind of stupid stuff. And you think somebody's supposed to take you to Ruth Chris. Girl, if you don't knock it off. Ain't nobody got to give you nothing just because you exist. And this is a byproduct of feminism and a gynocracy. They're telling women that their existence is worth entitlement to what everyone else works for and what everyone else does, when it does not. Just because you breathing don't make you entitled to a bunch of stuff that other people are doing. Particularly men. So because I'm sitting here, you gotta buy me, you gotta spend $400 on a date. Girl, hit me back when you spend $400 on that $20 wig you got. Girl, bye. Anyway. Women don't understand their full nature. A lot of women don't know their nature. This is why they get mad at it. It's a lot of women that don't understand their own nature. I blame the society for this because they don't teach women about themselves in a true fashion. It has helped us to warp what our nature really is and actually use it as a detriment and as a weapon, rather than use it to the benefit of ourselves and our community and our children and things of that nature. So women really don't, as a result of the society we live in, women really don't understand their own nature. They really don't. They actually have to have somebody to tell them what their nature is. If you ask the average woman what is her female nature, she's not going to be able to tell you. As a matter of fact, that question might even be odd to her because she's never actually thought about it. Women don't love men like men love women. I actually went over that yesterday, so we're going to keep going. Women lie. Women lie. And why is this something to say? Because everybody lies, or everybody has lied at some point about something. Everybody in this room, everybody watching, everybody in the world has lied about something, whether it was big, small, whatever the case may be, you know, lied about something. So why is that on this list? Everybody has lied, right? But the narrative has always been that women are always truthful. And it continues because remember that hashtag believe women? Y'all remember that hashtag believe all women? Whenever she say something, just understand that she's telling the truth. That's why that's on this list. Because you don't just believe women. Women do lie. Women lie about a lot of stuff. They lie about a lot of important things. There have been too many cases of women lying about being raped, lying about sexual harassments, lying about what someone has done to them, lying about being a victim in some situation. And a lot of times these lies have gotten people killed, they have gotten people hurt, they have gotten men put in jail, they have gotten people fired, they have gotten people's lives ruined, paternity fraud, all types of different lies. That's why women lie is on this list, because a lot of times women lie about very, very important, detrimental things. And the lie be so bad that when the truth come out, people's lives are devastated. The lie itself is capable of devastating folks' lives. If a woman lie and say a man sexually assaulted her and he didn't do that, and he go to trial, go to jail, you know what I'm saying, that you've devastated that person's life on the back of a lie. We can think of too many famous examples. Mike Tyson. I'm telling you, I have never believed, and he maintains his innocence on that to this day. He has never said he was guilty of that. And I believe him. I do not believe at any time that man did that to her, that he assaulted her. When you come to a man room by yourself at 1 o'clock in the wee hours of the morning to a man's hotel room, you know what it is. You ain't come up there to play hopscotch, all right? You did not come up there to play tiddlywinks and watch a Lifetime movie. You came up there to bust it open, okay? You busting it open. And she just didn't want nobody to know that that's what she had done, because it would have disqualified her out of the competition and everything. And she felt like the lie and ruining his life, she'd rather his life be ruined than whatever she was doing. So she stuck to that lie, and that man went to jail behind it. And he received a lot of public backlash and all types of stuff. That's on his record. All kind of stuff came from the lie. And to this day, whenever it come up, if it come up, he always maintains his innocence and says that he did not do that. And I believe Mike. I believe he did not do that. He may have done a lot of stuff in his life, but I don't believe he did that. And there have been plenty of men that had to get exonerated after actually serving time for a sexual assault that they didn't commit. Then let's not talk about paternity fraud. Telling men this your baby and ain't none of his baby. Got that man all wrapped up in that baby and find out 10 years, 12 years, 5 years later, whatever, that's not none of his child. You know how devastating that is to that man and that child? Because you wanted to lie, because you didn't want to look bad, because you didn't want him to know you cheated, or because you whatever. So that's why women lie is on this list. Women can take a man for everything. I kind of covered that too, about sometimes using the lie. Women take a man for everything he's got, ruin his whole life. So we know that women will take a man. I kind of covered that yesterday. So we're going to move on. Women cheat. In the black neighborhood, black communities, that's women's biggest thing. He cheated, and that justifies anything from breaking up to killing that man. In the black community, he cheated is the excuse that justifies a woman's actions anywhere from leaving the relationship to trying to kill him or succeeding in killing him. And it is supported by women. I have watched social media, watched women engage in assault and even murder of men, and the excuse was she was able to do that because he cheated. And the women in comment sections all over social media was like, well, you shouldn't be playing with people's emotions like that, which is an endorsement of the action. Yeah, see, that's into that entitlement as well. For y'all to be so sensitive about a man cheating, y'all sure do y'all share of the same thing. Cause y'all cheat like 40 going north too. Y'all stay giving dome to his best friend and going through the block or letting the block go through you, whichever one. For that to be the cardinal sin, y'all sure do commit it a lot. You doing the same thing you claim he doing. And all of it ain't revenge cheating. First of all, ladies, and there's no such thing as a revenge cheat. There's no such thing as a revenge cheat. You cheating because you want to, not because he did it. Because if you were a woman of integrity, you wouldn't do it no matter what he did. You would just leave the relationship if it was that bad. But you don't have any integrity either. So you might as well stay together and just let that man cheat in peace if that's what you're going to do. Because you will try to stay with him and then try to cheat on him. If cheating is supposed to represent that this man don't care about you, why would he be hurt if you cheat? Y'all ever thought about that? If him cheating on you is supposed to represent that he don't care nothing about you, why would you cheating on him hurt him? If he don't care nothing about you, why do you think something that you do could emotionally hurt him? He don't care about you, remember? See, the only way you can really hurt people, they gotta care about you. That's how people get hurt. People only become hurt by people that they care for. Somebody do me a favor and put my cash out in the chat. Hey, little Big Nate. So if he don't care nothing about you, how you figure going to do his best friend is going to hurt him? His best friend ain't gonna do nothing but tell. You know your woman was over here, right? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, man, you know, shoot. I mean, I did what I had to do. You're not even about to break his friendship with his friend with that. You just about to get booted. Boop boop. You finna, bam. That's all that's about to happen to you. And him and his friend gonna kick it. So that cheating, y'all need to knock that off. Women offer very little and they S-test. That's 2. Today's woman doesn't offer very much in a relationship. That's just the truth of the matter. You gotta be a lioness to offer something worthy in a relationship in the first place. I mean, y'all, you gotta be a lioness to offer something. If you a hyena, you not offering nothing but feather dusters and dirty back feet. And don't nobody want to marry that. Unless he a fool. He got to be a complete fool. Because don't no man of substance want to marry feather dusters and dirty, filthy, crusty back feet. And that's what y'all putting on the table. When they ask you what you bring to the table, you bring feather dusters and crusty back feet. Bad hygiene and attitude. Okay? That's what you bring. Don't nobody want to marry that. Don't nobody want to be with that. A man of substance, of quality, he don't want that in his life. He don't need that type of negative energy in his life. Boop. He don't need you. You don't bring nothing to the table. That's why you get so offended at the question. You get offended when a man asks you, well, what do you bring to me? You've told me what you want. Now, what are you going to do to get that out of me? What do you have? What are you? Y'all like partnerships so much. You know, you got to bring something to a partnership. How you like partnerships so much you don't bring nothing to it? But them dirty back feet. Don't nobody want that. Thank you, Heels In. Thank you, Red Seen the Blooms. Donation left you an email. Oh, okay. And thanks to whomever left me something in the PayPal. Thank you for that. You get offended at the question because you don't have the answer. You don't know what you're supposed to bring to the table. That's why you don't bring nothing. Because you don't know what you're supposed to bring. Now, technically speaking, the correct answer is I bring myself. But the only way that is worth anything is if you are a lioness and you actually have feminine qualities to bring to him. Stuff he wants, not stuff he don't want. You actually have to bring good personal market value. You actually got to bring good belonging market value, good friendship market value, good sexual market value. You actually got to bring marital market value to him. You actually got to bring that. If you got some money or something to bring that too. But the basic thing, the most important thing, y'all don't even know what you're supposed to bring. You don't even know what your personal market value even is in order to bring it to a man. You get to showing him who you are, he gonna run. That's why you fake who you are. Because you don't even like who you are. So you know he ain't gonna like it. So you gotta try to act like you somebody else. The only problem with that is you don't even know how to fake that, because you don't know what a good woman looks like, because not only are you not a good woman, you don't have any women in your life that are examples of good women. And the women who are good women, you call them pygmishas. See how you shoot yourself in the foot? Women do the S test, the sugar honey iced tea test. We do. There's rules to that though. Every single woman, lioness or no, is going to test the boundaries of her man. Because we have to. We hardwired in here to do that. There's not going to be any situation where a woman isn't going to test your mettle. I'm sorry, guys. It's just the way it is. We gonna test you. Now, ladies, there are good tests and there are bad tests. The good tests are the ones that are meant to find what his boundaries are, while at the same time not crossing any obvious boundaries, not being disrespectful, not being ridiculous. You are able to test a man's boundaries without actually stepping on his toes. Now, he doesn't like any kind of test, but it's inevitable. All right? We gotta say something to see if he gonna check us. Because a lioness don't like a man that can't check you. That ain't got the heart to what you say? See, if he ain't got the heart to do that, we don't even like that. We only like men that can do that. That's got the heart to tell us no. No. And I don't accept that. Don't do that no more. We respect that. We respect that. It's like, okay, that's a boundary. Now, if you are being a lioness about it, you don't do that test anymore. Because you found his boundary. Lionesses find the boundary in order not to cross it. Hyenas find the boundary so they can step on it. So you need to be careful about which one you're going to do and which one you're being. Because I do S-test men. I want to know, where's your boundary? And do you got the backbone to check me? Tell me no. Say no to me and mean it. Once I find those boundaries, I'm not going to constantly step on that. And go and because that breaks the relationship, because he can't trust you. Okay, you're just being chaotic and ridiculous and out of control. I like to find the boundary because I want to know what the boundary is so that I know not to cross that. He really doesn't like that at all. So if you want to keep your relationship, you're going to have to knock that off. Because he don't like that at all. If you're being a hyena about it, you want to know where the boundaries are because you want to know what buttons to push to tick him off, piss him off, make him mad, get him upset. And a lot of times, hyenas use the S test for negative attention and to get sex. Right, C and feminine. Yeah. That look, he just turned around. Don't even say nothing. Just, and you be like, nice weather out today, huh? That wasn't a good look. Don't do that. Yeah, that. And when we're being lionesses about it, it is a nervous feeling to try to find his boundary, because you can't ask. We can't ask because sometimes the men don't know. They know obvious stuff. They don't want to be disrespected. They don't want to be talked to crazy and all that kind of stuff. But that's obvious, right? But there are some non-obvious boundaries as well that get created. As soon as you cross it, it's like, oh, I don't like that. No, don't do that no more. Sometimes a boundary gets created on the spot. I don't like what you just did. You can't do that no more. I didn't even know I ain't like that till you did that. No. Okay. And disrespect, he defines what's disrespectful to him. Just because you don't think it's disrespectful don't mean it ain't. If he sees it as a disrespect, then it was disrespectful to him. No. We don't ask, Terenza. You can't ask because that'll be 6 months worth of the relationship. Us just sitting down with an interview asking what your boundaries are. That's not gonna work. We have to find them organically. Sometimes it's not even intentional. Sometimes the S test is not intentional. A lot of guys think it's always intentional. It's not. Sometimes it's not even intentional. We just be doing stuff and then realize that's a boundary for you. Oh, you don't like that? Oh, okay. All right. I've run into that plenty of times, just being me. Just being me and run into a brick wall with it. Like, I don't like that behavior. What's wrong with the behavior? I was just being me. No. That might be true, but you better knock it off. Sometimes I don't know when I'm being annoying. You know what I mean? Because I just be being me. Right? You get comfortable and you just be comfortable and you just be going about your day. And you, what was that? What was what? That. Last 10 minutes. What is that? And something he have to tell you, no. This is how I saw that. You might have saw it a different way. This is how I perceived it, and I don't appreciate it. You might have thought it was innocent. I didn't take that innocently. And I'm going to need you to watch it. So the S test is not always something intentional that we do. It's not even always something meant to make you mad. We just run into the boundaries sometimes. Be like, oh, okay, got you. Hyenas intentionally push your buttons. Hyenas will intentionally, the S test is not meant to get healthy boundaries and structure in a relationship and respect those boundaries. Hyenas are dysfunctional. So a lot of times a woman that's being a hyena will push her man's buttons to get him mad at her, thereby garnering negative attention, and then she asks for sex. This is how she asks for attention from him, but it breaks the relationship over time because she does it too much. First of all, you can't S-test all the time. That is a rare. As the relationship goes on, it actually should be fewer and fewer and fewer and fewer of those, almost to the point where you don't really do it anymore because you know him well enough not to do you know all the boundaries. So more S-tests in the beginning just to find it, and then as the relationship goes, it actually should lessen quite a bit because you're learning him and you're learning what not to do and say around him, what he don't like, how he perceives stuff. So you know when you do something, he about to not like that because he's gonna perceive that as out of order. So I shouldn't do that, especially you're not around him. If I'm gonna do it, I can't do it in front of him because he gonna have something to say and he not gonna like that. So just to avoid conflict and foolishness, I'm not gonna do that. Now, my personal problem is sometimes the boundary conflicts with my core personality. So I find myself having to apologize. Like, sorry. I do it from time to time just because it's me. I mean no harm. I just do that because that's me. When you're a lioness and you want attention from your man, you don't push his buttons. You just ask. Ask for more attention. Ask for more sex. If that's what you want, just ask. No need to make an argument so he can be mad so y'all can do makeup sex. That's dysfunctional. I actually, and I've said this before, I don't like men getting mad. I don't like male anger. So I actually don't like making men mad. Because men's anger, actually, I get triggered by that. I get triggered by it. It's a trigger for me. It's an old trigger. And I don't like it. And I haven't been able to ever get rid of that trigger. So men getting angry, especially with me directly, mad because I did something or said something, I actually don't like that. I fold like a lawn chair. I will fold like a lawn chair. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Stop. Because I don't want him mad because it triggers me. Now, everybody don't got that trigger, but I do. So that actually is a great incentive for me not to S-test too much. Or to do it in ways that actually make him angry. I don't operate that way. And most lionesses don't. We don't operate in a way to garner negative attention from him so that he can give us attention. If I want more attention, I'll just ask. Or I won't do negative stuff. I'll just start being real sweet. And then as he learned me, he understand that signal. Instead of me sparking an argument with him from nowhere, just because I'm hot now, I'll start doing sweet stuff or being really, really, really affectionate because I'm affectionate anyway. So I'll just start kissing and hugging and touching it. So he'll understand that signal. Like, oh, you want some more attention. I become a cuddle bunny because I want more attention now. I'll not stop following you around the house. That kind of stuff. I follow you. What you doing? What's that? Huh? Can I help? Can I read that? That kind of stuff. That's my personal thing. Ladies do that. Find another good way to ask for his attention. A way that doesn't make strife and doesn't stress him out. You can't stress him out. You got to find a way to do that doesn't stress him out and doesn't make him angry. Women don't provide incentive for men to get into long-term relationships. I kind of covered that. Women want privilege but not responsibility. I kind of covered that with the entitlement. Women monkey branch and are hypergamous in nature. That's 2. Women do a lot of monkey branching because we like security. We don't like leaving one situation before another situation is in hand. We do that with more than relationships. We do that with work. We do that with all kinds of situations because we don't like not feeling secure. So we don't like being insecure. So we don't like moving where there's no safety net or nothing. We actually get scared because of that. So because of that part of our nature with really wanting security all the time and wanting guarantees all the time, women will monkey branch from thing to thing. In this particular case, we talk about relationships. So women will do a monkey branch. If she feels like this relationship is coming to an end or whatever, whether it's her fault, his fault, whatever, she'll try to line up the next guy so that she's not spending any time in the gap. Now, this is actually kind of a ridiculous thing to do because if you were in a relationship and that relationship ends, you actually need time to reflect on why that ended in order to have some self-reflection and actually become a better version of yourself, a better woman. And then therefore you won't commit the same mistakes that relationship in the new relationship. So if you have that time by yourself in order to think and say, okay, these are the reasons why this relationship really didn't work. And then take accountability for your part in why it didn't work. And then maybe once you take some accountability in your part, why it didn't work, you won't do that again. You'll actually understand that I should do something different in order to get a different outcome. But that all takes emotional maturity and self-reflection and a sense of accountability. All things that feminism and the gynocracy does not allow. Okay? Let's see. Women use men. We kind of covered that. Women don't want men to have male spaces. We covered that first. Women don't like that because they try to control the narrative and then like to invade male spaces for the same thing. Women initiate divorces. That goes back to the entitlement situation, being able to take a man for everything, being able to get over on a man, being able to see the man as the enemy and therefore feeling okay and justified in doing a dude grimy and taking advantage of him. Women act masculine. I've covered that so many times. Strong and independent. We've covered that a lot. Control men with sex. We talked about that. Abuse men verbally. This is one that doesn't get talked about a lot. So we're going to actually talk about that. Women like to verbally abuse men. Thank you, Little Big Nate, for the Cash App. Appreciate it. Women actually are verbally abusive to men. The stuff that we don't want them to say to us, we readily will say to them. You know what I'm saying? Particularly hyenas are real bad with that. Real bad with cussing them out. Real bad with saying derogatory or demeaning words, emasculating him. You know what I'm saying? All of these sorts of things. And it's in second nature. It's second nature to the point where a lot of times women don't even see what they're saying as verbal abuse or emasculation to a man. Calling him boy, making demands of him rather than posing things as questions or requests. Feeling like he needs to just do what you say just because you said it. Being ready and willing to just cuss him out. You'll do it in public, embarrassing him. You know what I'm saying? And all of these types of things. Confronting him, questioning his manhood, you know, challenging his manhood. All of these types of things are forms of verbal and emotional abuse. And a lot of times in this society, women are not even looked at as abusers of any type, especially to a man. And because they'll tell a man, well, you a man, so you can't take it. No, nobody want to just take it. Who wants to just take verbal abuse? That's no good. Nobody wants to just take verbal. Nobody should have to. If you can't talk to me like you got some sense, don't talk to me. Period. But a lot of women in this day and age have the propensity to talk to men like children. Kind of the nerve, a little bit. Because a lot of these women act like children. So that's kind of ironic when you think about it. But they'll try to talk to men like children. Like, where you get that from? Why are you talking to him like that? And they'll do it in front of people, private, public. It doesn't matter. They really like to do it in public. To try to make the rest of the gynocracy think that she run that relationship. Let's see. Women don't want to take full responsibility for their actions. That goes back into the entitlement. Feminism tells women they don't have to take responsibility because on the one end, you're an adult and you grown. On the other end, you're a woman and you're feeble. So you shouldn't have to take responsibility for the things you do because you're just a woman. Now, I don't understand why women have not figured feminism out yet. And just that fact alone should let you know that there's something wrong with this ideology. Because on the one hand, it tells you that you're grown, that you not only are you equal to me and you're better than them, you're smarter than them, you're stronger than them, you do more, you think better, and all of this type of stuff. And then when you do something stupid and land yourself in a jam, then if feminism comes along to then make you a victim and say, well, she's just a woman, how was she supposed to know? So on the one hand, you're strong, and on the other hand, being a woman is this feeble-minded, childlike state that you have to be saved from constantly. Just that form of cognitive dissonance that it introduces into women should let you know that feminism is wrong. It can't be a true ideology because it has opposing thoughts in it. It's comprised of opposing ideas. How are you supposed to carry these opposing ideas in one package? That's why a lot of you crazy today. Women try to remove men from their friends and family. This is a high level of manipulation, and this is usually the work of a narcissistic female, because that is the trait of an abuser. When somebody wants to abuse you, they want to isolate you. They want to separate you from the people that love you and that could actually help you get away from them or to help you recognize that you're being abused. So they want to isolate you away from people that actually care about you and convince you that they're the only ones that care about you. If they're able to successfully do that to you, then they're in a prime position to abuse you for however long that they think they can get away with that. Because they've psychologically worked you into a position where you can't get help or you can't get out. Now, typically we say that men do this to women, but actually women have done this to men as well. It's not a one-way street. Getting him away from him. I don't like your friends. I don't like your mama. I don't like, you know what I'm saying? And just complaining about the people that have been in his life all his life before he met you. And then trying to isolate him. And then that way she can better manipulate him into doing things that she wants done, regardless of its effect on him and how he's going to be destroyed by this level of narcissism. So people like to throw that N word around and direct it at men and try to connect narcissism with toxic masculinity, quote unquote. But really it can be connected to toxic femininity. A lot of women are narcissists. And this society and the culture has actually created a lot of narcissistic women. Feeling like everything is centered around her and everything got to go her way. And anything that she does to get things to go her way actually justified. No matter how ridiculous, no matter how detrimental, no matter how crazy, no matter how, you know what I'm saying, dangerous that it is. Women want resources from men. We actually went over that. Women treat men differently. We kind of went over that too when I talked about love. Women submit to their jobs and welfare, but not men. And I've actually touched that before. That a lot of women will submit to outside system orders and structures rather than submit to the men that they're with. Now, a lot of times it's either one of two reasons why she's doing this. One, because the man that she's with, his system, order, and structure is either non-existent or it is ineffective and she don't follow it. The workspace and other places like that actually have established systems, orders, and structures, and it holds her accountable. So this is why she will submit to it. Even welfare, she'll submit to that because she wants to receive it. So she will do whatever the requirements and the standards are in order to get what she's trying to get. She won't do it with a man either because his SOS is non-existent or ineffective, or she don't like his system, order, and structure. And she doesn't see what she gets out of him as good enough of a benefit to actually submit to it. Which is problematic because this shows that she's not really operating inside of her nature the way that she's supposed to. She's actually being dysfunctional. Because if you're with a man with bad leadership skills and he's not leading you into anywhere good or better than where you were before you met him or anything like that, then you need to leave that situation rather than be in the situation and be chaotic within it. Women have an advantage in the court system. We went over that as well. We went over strong and independent, claiming not to need a man. And last but not least, women don't know how to be feminine. Because we've been set on a masculine path, we do not know what it is to actually harness real femininity. No idea. Quick to try to tell a man how to be a man, don't know how to be a woman. Thinking that being a man is being a woman. That's how backwards it is. You think if you do the stuff men do, you'll be a better woman, but you won't. You'll just be a bad version of a dude. An off-brand dude. That's what you end up being, and a horrible woman. But again, feminism and the gynocracy tells women that they need to be on a masculine path. And it does so much damage because it starts really young. And we don't learn how to be feminine. We think that women who are being feminine are pick-me's and mammies and, you know what I'm saying, doormats and all this other kind of stuff. Any other derogatory name that they want to put to a woman that does that. That actually is feminine. If you watch any of these reality TV shows, like Ready to Love or something like that, where there's a competition between the women for a man or something like that, a lot of the women will have problems with whichever woman is the most feminine out of the group. They'll make problems with her. They'll try to say she being phony. They'll try to say she being underhanded. They'll try to say she being manipulative. She being a pick-me. She's doing this. She's doing that. The most masculine women in a group will pick on the most feminine woman. Just watch any of them shows if you can stomach them. Just watch any of them shows. The women who are the most feminine out of a group, even if she's not super, super feminine, she just needs to be more feminine than the group she's around, and they'll pick on her. They'll pick on her, especially black women. Thank you, Fear to None, especially black women. Black women are very masculine, and if another black woman comes into that group and she's very feminine, they're going to pick on her. This is where colorism come from. I'm going to drop this on you and then I'm going to wrap it up. Y'all want to know what the root problem of colorism really is? Y'all want to know? Y'all want to know the root of colorism for real? I'm going to say this and I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you, Joe from DC. The real issue within colorism is that lighter skinned women are thought to be, whether it's true or not, more feminine than darker skinned women because black women subconsciously think of white women as more feminine than them. So a light-skinned woman has a closer proximity to whiteness and therefore more feminine, and they have a problem with her. Bet y'all didn't put that together. Subconsciously, black women consider white women and other groups of women that are more fair-skinned to be more feminine than them. So when you have a very light-skinned black woman, she look white and is perceived as the soft one or the more feminine one. They always perceive a light-skinned girl as soft. They have a problem with her because they perceive her as more feminine and therefore more desirable to the boys and the men. This is why they pick on her. This is why they fight her. This is why they try to make her ugly. This is why they try to make her hard. How many of y'all put them two things together? That's the real issue. That's why women perpetuate colorism and men don't. That's why women perpetuate it. It's subconscious. If you ask women who are colorists if that's true, they'll say no. They won't know what you're talking about. It's subconscious. They perceive the lighter skinned woman as more feminine than them. Specifically due to her proximity to whiteness, because they consider white women more feminine. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it with, because this been going on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. This is one of my longest shows. But I wanted to get through the list. And I had fun doing it. So what I want everybody to do, looks like they did last time, sound off in the comments on any one of these. I want to hear your thoughts. Definitely want you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. I want to thank everyone for coming by, for contributing the cash apps, the super chats. Thank you, Jeremy Sears. Thank you, Joe from DC. Thank everyone for coming through. Also, this show has been brought to you by A-Game, a male herbal solution. So what I want everyone to do is go into the description box and hit the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com, and you can get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10. All right, so guys, give yourself the gift of better health, and ladies, do the same for the men in your lives. And with that being said, I am going to get on out of here, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites. Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor, who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.